Imagine yourself trekking through a misty forest. Sunlight filters through the towering trees. There's a stillness in the air, broken only by your footsteps. Suddenly you see it, a massive creature with enormous antlers. This is the moose, the largest member of the deer family. Moose are awe-inspiring animals, demanding respect and admiration. Their sheer size is impressive, with males often weighing over 1,000 pounds. Their towering height gives them a commanding presence in the forest. But it's not just their size that sets them apart. Moose possess a unique beauty, a blend of power and grace. Their long legs carry them effortlessly through their domain. Their dark fur shimmers under the sunlight. The most striking feature of the moose is their antlers. These massive structures can span up to 6 feet across. They are a symbol of strength, used for display and defense. Moose are not just giants, they are integral parts of the ecosystems they inhabit. As herbivores, they shape their environment. Their browsing controls plant growth, maintaining forest health. Their presence indicates ecosystem well-being. Moose are fascinating creatures full of surprises, perfectly adapted to their environment. Understanding moose is crucial for conservation. Their survival depends on our efforts. Join us to explore their world and challenges. Discover why they deserve our respect and protection. From North America to Eurasia, moose have a unique place. Their story is one of adaptation and resilience. Discover the wonders of these gentle giants. The moose, with its imposing size and majestic antlers, thrives in the northern forests of North America, Europe, and Asia. These coniferous forests provide the ideal habitat, offering cover and abundant food. Moose are particularly fond of willow, aspen, and birch trees. Their thick fur and long legs help them navigate the cold and deep snow. While forests are the moose's primary domain, they are also drawn to wetlands. Swamps, marshes, and bogs, often found interspersed within the forest landscape, hold a particular allure for these majestic creatures. These watery havens provide a rich source of aquatic plants, an essential part of the moose's diet. Moose are adept swimmers, their long legs propelling them through the water with surprising grace. They can submerge themselves completely, using their long snouts to graze on submerged vegetation. The cool water of the wetlands also provides relief from the heat of summer, and moose are often seen wading or swimming during hot days. These wetlands, often teeming with insects and amphibians, offer an additional source of protein for moose, particularly during the summer months. The soft ground of marshes and bogs is easier on their joints, providing a welcome respite from the hard forest floor. The dense vegetation surrounding wetlands also offers excellent cover, allowing moose to hide from predators or simply enjoy some peace and quiet. Moose are remarkably well adapted to survive harsh winters. Their thick, double-layered fur provides exceptional insulation against the cold. The long, hollow guard hairs trap air close to the body, creating an insulating layer that keeps them warm even in sub-zero temperatures. Their large body size also works to their advantage, as a lower surface area to volume ratio reduces heat loss. Moose have a specialized circulatory system that further aids in thermoregulation. Blood vessels in their legs and hooves are arranged in a way that minimizes heat loss to the cold ground. During particularly harsh winters, moose will seek out sheltered areas in the forest, such as dense stands of coniferous trees or areas with deep snowdrifts. These natural shelters provide protection from wind and snow, helping to conserve energy. Moose are also known to dig down into the snow, creating shallow depressions called moose yards. These yards offer a warmer microclimate and a place to rest during blizzards. To thrive in their challenging environments, moose rely on a keen set of senses. Their eyesight, while not their strongest sense, is adequate for detecting movement and identifying predators at a distance. Their hearing, however, is exceptionally sharp. Their large, mobile ears can swivel independently, allowing them to pinpoint the location of sounds with remarkable accuracy. This is crucial for detecting the approach of predators, as well as for communicating with other moose over long distances. But perhaps the most important sense for a moose is its sense of smell. Their long snout houses a large nasal cavity lined with olfactory receptors, giving them an incredibly sensitive sense of smell. This allows them to detect the scent of food, water, and potential mates from afar. They can even smell predators like wolves long before they are visible. This combination of sharp hearing and an exceptional sense of smell makes moose highly attuned to their surroundings, allowing them to detect danger and find resources efficiently. The moose, being the largest of all deer species, possesses an equally impressive appetite. Imagine needing to consume over 70 pounds of food every single day. That's the reality for these gentle giants, whose massive bodies require a tremendous amount of sustenance. Their diet consists mainly of vegetation, making them herbivores, and they spend a significant portion of their day foraging for food. To fuel their large frames and maintain their energy levels, moose have evolved to become incredibly efficient eaters. They are constantly on the move, searching for the most nutritious plants available in their environment. Their diet changes with the seasons, adapting to the availability of different types of vegetation. During the summer months, when food is abundant, they take advantage of the lush growth, consuming a variety of leaves, twigs, and aquatic plants. As winter approaches and food becomes scarcer, they rely more on woody browse such as twigs and bark. Moose are what's known as browsers, meaning they primarily feed on leaves, twigs, and bark from trees and shrubs. Their long legs and lengthy necks allow them to reach high into the branches, accessing vegetation that's out of reach for other herbivores. They are particularly fond of willow, aspen, and birch trees, often stripping bark and branches with their strong teeth. Their browsing habits play an important role in shaping the forest ecosystem. By feeding on certain tree species, they help to control their growth and create space for other plant species to thrive. Moose are selective eaters, carefully choosing the most nutritious parts of plants. They prefer young, tender shoots and leaves, which are higher in nutrients. Their keen sense of smell helps them locate the most desirable food sources. Moose will often travel long distances to find areas with abundant food, especially during times of scarcity. While forests provide the majority of their diet, moose have a special affinity for wetlands. These watery havens offer a unique and essential part of their dietary needs. Moose are surprisingly strong swimmers, their long legs propelling them through the water with ease. They can submerge their heads entirely, using their long snouts and prehensile upper lips to graze on submerged vegetation. Aquatic plants, such as water lilies, pondweed, and horsetails, are rich in minerals and nutrients that are often lacking in terrestrial plants. These aquatic plants are particularly important for pregnant and lactating females, as they provide essential nutrients for fetal development and milk production. Wetlands also provide a cool respite from the summer heat, and moose will often spend hours wading and feeding in these refreshing waters. The abundance of insects and amphibians in wetlands offers an additional source of protein, which is especially important for growing calves. The diet of a moose is a delicate balance, intricately linked to the health of its environment. Their feeding habits can have both positive and negative impacts on the ecosystem. On one hand, their browsing can help to control plant populations and create a more diverse habitat. On the other hand, overgrazing can lead to the depletion of certain plant species, potentially impacting other animals that rely on those plants for food. Changes in climate and human activity can significantly impact the availability of food for moose. Deforestation, for example, can reduce the abundance of their preferred food sources, forcing them to seek out food in less suitable habitats. Climate change can also affect the timing of plant growth and the severity of winters, further impacting the availability of food. Understanding the dietary needs of moose and the factors that influence their food supply is crucial for their conservation. By protecting their habitat and managing their populations, we can help to ensure that these majestic creatures continue to thrive in their natural environments. The life of a moose is a cycle of foraging, resting, and staying one step ahead of danger. Their days are dictated by the seasons and the availability of food. Dawn often finds a moose browsing on tender leaves and twigs, replenishing its energy reserves after a long night. As the sun climbs higher and the temperature rises, it seeks out the cool shade of the forest or the refreshing waters of a nearby wetland. Moose are crepuscular animals, meaning they are most active during the twilight hours of dawn and dusk. These times of day offer cooler temperatures and reduced visibility, making it easier for them to move about and forage without expending excessive energy or attracting unwanted attention. The midday hours are typically spent resting, conserving energy for their next foraging bout. They may lie down in a shady spot, chewing their cud, a process of regurgitating and rechewing partially digested food to extract maximum nutrients. As the sun begins to set, they become active again, resuming their search for food. Moose are generally solitary creatures, preferring to roam their territories alone or in small family groups. Adult males, or bulls, are particularly independent, often spending the majority of the year apart from other moose. Females, or cows, are more social, often forming small herds with their calves and yearlings. These groups provide safety in numbers, as well as opportunities for young moose to learn survival skills from their mothers and older siblings. Despite their solitary nature, moose have ways of communicating with each other. They use a variety of vocalizations, including grunts, groans, and snorts, to convey messages about food, danger, or mating availability. Their large, expressive ears can swivel independently, allowing them to pinpoint the direction of sounds with remarkable accuracy. Moose also communicate through scent, using urine and glandular secretions to mark their territories and signal their presence to other moose. While not as vocal as some other animals, moose have developed a subtle but effective communication system. Their vocalizations, though seemingly simple, convey a range of messages. Grunts are often used as contact calls, allowing moose to stay in touch with each other over long distances. Groans can signal distress, warning others of potential danger. Snorts are often associated with aggression, used by males to challenge rivals or ward off threats. During the mating season, bulls will emit deep, guttural bellows that can be heard for miles across the forest. These bellows serve to attract females and intimidate other males, announcing their presence and their intentions. In addition to vocalizations, moose use body language to communicate. A raised head and flattened ears can signal aggression, while a lowered head and tucked tail indicate submission. During mating season, bulls will often thrash their antlers against trees and shrubs, creating loud noises and visual displays to attract females. As summer fades into autumn, a primal instinct takes hold of the moose population, the urge to reproduce. This period, known as the rut, is a time of heightened activity and intense competition. Bulls, their antlers now fully grown and hardened, become consumed with the drive to mate. They roam widely, their bellows echoing through the forest, searching for receptive females. When a bull encounters a cow in estrus, he will often follow her relentlessly, vying for her attention. This pursuit can last for days, with the bull constantly testing the cow's receptiveness and fending off rival males. Competition for mates is fierce, and bulls will often engage in dramatic battles for dominance. With antlers clashing, they test each other's strength and agility, the victor earning the right to mate with the female. These battles, though intense, are rarely fatal, with the defeated bull typically retreating to lick his wounds and try his luck elsewhere. After the chaos of the rut subsides, a period of relative calm descends upon the moose population. Pregnant females seek out secluded areas to give birth, typically in late spring or early summer. Moose calves are born with a reddish-brown coat, providing camouflage in the forest. A cow moose is a fiercely protective mother, her bond with her calf unbreakable. She will defend her young against any perceived threat. The calf, dependent on its mother, grows rapidly, doubling its weight in weeks. For months, the calf follows its mother, learning essential survival skills. As winter approaches, the young moose, now larger, joins its mother in their winter range. The moose, despite its size, faces constant threats in the wild. Wolves, with their pack mentality, are the most formidable predators. They often target calves or weakened adults. Bears also pose a threat, especially to calves. Their immense strength and sharp claws make them formidable adversaries. While natural predators play an essential role in regulating moose populations, the greatest threats to their survival come from human activities. As human populations expand and encroach upon moose habitat, conflicts become inevitable. Habitat loss, driven by deforestation, agriculture, and urban development, is a significant concern. Forests, once vast and interconnected, are fragmented into smaller, isolated patches, reducing the availability of food and shelter for moose. Roads, while essential for human transportation, often bisect moose habitat, increasing the risk of vehicle collisions. These collisions are often fatal for both moose and humans, resulting in injury, property damage, and loss of life. Climate change, driven by human activities, is also impacting moose populations. Warmer temperatures are expanding the range of parasites and diseases that can harm moose, such as brainworm and winter ticks. Changes in precipitation patterns can affect the availability of food and water, making it more difficult for moose to find the resources they need to survive. Climate change, a global phenomenon with far-reaching consequences, is casting a long shadow over the future of moose populations. The Arctic and subarctic regions, where moose thrive, are warming at an alarming rate, twice as fast as the global average. This warming trend is already having noticeable impacts on moose, disrupting their delicate balance with their environment. One of the most significant threats posed by climate change is the increase in heat stress. Moose, with their thick fur and large body mass, are poorly adapted to cope with extreme heat. Prolonged hot spells can lead to dehydration, heat exhaustion, and even death, particularly in calves and older individuals. Warmer winters, with less snowpack, are also problematic. Ticks, which thrive in warmer temperatures, are becoming more prevalent in moose habitat. These parasites can infest moose in huge numbers, causing anemia, hair loss, and even death. The challenges facing moose are complex and multifaceted, requiring a concerted effort from individuals, communities, and governments to address them effectively. Protecting and restoring moose habitat is paramount. This includes establishing protected areas, such as national parks and wildlife refuges, where moose can roam freely without the threat of human disturbance. It also involves promoting sustainable forestry practices that balance timber harvesting with the needs of wildlife. Reducing human-wildlife conflicts is another crucial aspect of moose conservation. This can involve implementing measures to reduce vehicle collisions, such as wildlife crossings and fencing along roadways. Educating the public about moose behavior and how to coexist with them peacefully is also essential. Addressing climate change, the overarching threat to moose and countless other species, requires a global commitment to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. This involves transitioning to cleaner sources of energy, promoting energy efficiency, and supporting policies that mitigate the impacts of climate change. As we've journeyed through the world of the moose, we've encountered creatures of immense size and surprising grace. We've witnessed their quiet strength as they navigate the dense forests and icy waters of their domain. We've observed their fascinating behaviors, from the tender care of mothers for their calves, to the fierce battles of bulls during the rut. But our exploration has also revealed the precariousness of their existence. The moose, like so many other species, faces a growing number of challenges in a world increasingly shaped by human activities. Habitat loss, climate change, and human-wildlife conflicts threaten their very survival. The future of these gentle giants hangs in the balance, a stark reminder of our interconnectedness with the natural world. Their fate is inextricably linked to our own. The challenges may seem daunting, but there is still hope. Awareness is the first step towards action. By understanding the plight of the moose, we can become more conscious of our own impact on their world. Conservation efforts, driven by scientific knowledge and public support, are crucial for securing a future for moose. Protecting and restoring their habitat, mitigating climate change, and fostering coexistence between humans and wildlife are essential. By supporting conservation organizations and making responsible choices, we can contribute to a brighter future for moose. Imagine a future where the haunting calls of bull moose still echo through the forests. This is the future we must strive for, a future where the majestic giants of the wild continue to inspire awe.